The sugar prices declined today on higher supplies and weak demand from the bulk consumers in spot markets. The increased supplies from the new crop also put chana prices on the weakening side, and it's also had been the weak demand from the spot markets and increasing supplies which has put pressure on this commodity as well. 2-10% of decline coming in for sugar prices, and that's the case you have seen in many other commodities in the agro space today. Shrikant, what's your sense now coming in for sugar? Because we haven't seen much of gains coming into this space, and even if there have been gains, they only have been sold off into.
I think, Manisha, you're going to see some more declines on sugar because, okay, you may think that the institutional buying is not there, but it's not really that the case. It's not the case really. What's happening is that a lot of the levy sugar that the mills were holding on to is now coming in for sale, and they're trying to liquidate that as fast as possible because the crushing is over now, and they wouldn't want to carry that inventory for the next few months and pay carrying costs. So under the circumstances, what's happening now is that this sugar is coming out into the market, and with the decontrol happening, or the fact that the levy is not there any longer, the aligning of the Indian prices to the international should happen, in which case then you should see it declining even below the 2900 levels and maybe to the 2850 or somewhere around there. At that point of time, maybe that once you see that the international prices are more or less close to what the sugar price in India is, then I think the decline may stop. But until then, I think you're going to be having pressure on sugar on the downside.
Vijay, wheat after an upper circuit yesterday, how is it behaving today, and what's your sense for the rest of this week now?
Manisha, yesterday I talked about 1528 to 1540 band. I noted wheat has already hit that target of 1530 today. So some amount of profit would be taken off the table, although I don't think wheat has run its course. I don't think that the rally has terminated. It's early days yet to call a top and therefore a trend reversal. My guess is the May futures might see profit taking emerge at higher levels, and patient players who've accumulated wheat at lower levels are likely to head for the exit door. It's now the Johnnies come lately who'll come and attempt to push wheat higher by their buying action. But the top cream and the low-hanging fruit has already been plucked. So I would still stick to the view that the 1528 to 1540 band, especially the closer you get towards 1540, I think there will be resistance to any upsides. So systematically unwinding positions which have been held for a while should be the order of the day going forward. Unless there is a significant unwarranted decline, I would not really want to buy fresh wheat at this point in time. Existing longs, one might just choose to hold on to them.
Sure. Shrikant, what's your sense coming in for pulses now? Because we've seen both sides of the range for this commodity in last 6 or 8 months. What's your sense now for the very near term?
Actually, if you look at chana, I mean, yes, it went up. That was mainly because of the arrivals, and then there was talk about, the arrivals not being up to the mark, and hence it went up to, I think, 3,800 or so. And now you're seeing it correcting. So what's actually happening is a correction of the run-up. But then again, it still has, its support around 3,500 or 3,300 levels. So I think you will see it trading around that level. I don't think you're going to see any sharp decline or any form of volatile prices. I think it will settle down around the 3,500 levels, and I guess we'll have to take it up from there. But I don't see any major up move from here.
All right, let's also listen in to Pankaj Agarwala, Secretary, Ministry of Consumer Affairs. We spoke to him earlier, and he spoke on guar and its possibility of a relaunch. He also spoke about the expectation of a good monsoon and easing inflation. Let's listen in.
We are absolutely alert on guar. We have done our rounds of confabulations, discussions with the stakeholders. Prior to that, we have the advisory committee's report. We are just waiting for some of the exchanges to give their views, because we want to take what is called a decision based on the inputs of all possible stakeholders. But we also know that this is an agricultural commodity, and therefore time is of essence. So very soon, the Forward Markets Commission will take a decision. The monsoons are a major factor for our agricultural production. We welcome the first report of the IMD. It helps in both the government as well as the farmers from taking the right decisions. That's all about that I can react right now. But yes, the first reports are heartening and encouraging.
All right, that's about the Agri Ministry and, of course, the monsoons, the big positive coming in that sense. But